Yes. What's going on, family? Listen, welcome to the Sunday Market Weekly preparation call. Hope you guys are feeling well. We're going to get this thing started in just a minute or two. Feel free to send out this link to anybody you guys know that needs to get their trading week planned and ready. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the chat. Drop those locations. Let me know. We're going to vibe out. I see y'all enjoying the house music already. So we're going to keep it pumping for another minute or two, family, as we get situated here. But yeah, feel free to send out that link and we'll be with you shortly. All right. Listen, I know we all vibing. Let's get this thing started, though, family. How we all feeling? Let me get this music off real quick. Let's see who we got in the chat with us today. Let me scroll back real quick. Let's see. We got Tammy in the building. I know Tammy been waiting for this call. We got Alex in the house. We got Rena joining Club Profit Society. Yeah, that's a fact. You already know I gotta come in with the house music, you know. Had to cut that lo-fi, give the lo-fi a break for a little bit, you know? You feel me? But let's see who else we got. We got Bitcoin Mommy in the house. We got Erwin. We got King Lions. Got Get the Bag. That boy Alex says he's in Raleigh right now, but soon to be LA. So stream would be at 6 p.m. Yes. Yes. I believe so. Let's see. We vibing to that house. Let's see. We got Sativa in the building. What's going on? We got that boy Eric. We got both Erics, if not all three Erics, probably in the house, right? So shout out to my Eric squad that's always in the building, right? We got, let's see who else we got. We got Arturo. We got the Bahamas in the building. We got LA, Toronto, Fifth Ward, Texas, Montreal, Canada. Let's see, San Diego, Atlanta. Let's see who else we got. My chat just glitched out, family. 1 second. We got Colorado. DJ Skag in the mix. My voice is good enough to be a DJ? Yes, Eric said that's a little sus. Yeah, it might be. Alex just be saying stuff to say stuff sometimes. My voice actually felt a little different because I'm honestly not feeling too hot today, family, but it's okay. We here no matter what. I'm Margarita in the chat, blessed and grateful. Good to see you. Fabi Love from Rhode Island. We got Dennis out in Sunny Isles, Florida. We got Jude in the building. All right, shout out Jude. We got Jerry. We got that boy Nico. Yeah, Nico more than anybody on the call already knows how I be with my music. We got Kyle out there in Vermont. Got 2 trades in the building. Devin out in Michigan as always. Good to see you, bro. Cody, good to see you as well. Kayla. Let's see. We got Michael, AD. We got Mr. Nathan or Nathaniel. SBG out in Houston. What's going on? Homestead, Florida. Bless up, Cozy. Good to see you, bro. Cozy, my man. I'm gonna need to know. What are we doing? We tanking on Ethereum, or what are we doing, bro? You gotta give me the word, my brother. Let's see who else we got. Yeah, we got the other Eric in here. Cat interest rate. Yeah. We about to jump into fundamentals right now, family. Give me 1 second though. I need 4%. We gonna get to it, Devin. You know, we got the live trading sessions all week, family, which if you guys don't know, the live trading sessions this week will be moved into the premium community, but that doesn't mean that we won't be here on YouTube as well. We'll just be here on YouTube a little bit later in the day, giving you guys a recap of what went down and breaking down any trades we took, just so you guys can still get some value out of it But if you want to trade live with us and execute live with us, family, make sure you guys go hop in. And there's still time to use that $400 off the year, right? Just remember to use promo code LAUNCH as you get that situated. But let me see what else we got. I'll throw down some John Summit next time. Oh, don't even get me started on my Summit music. Don't even get me started, man. I've seen John Summit in a few different cities. That's my boy. Don't even play with it. Let's see. STGC, what's going on? What's good? What's good? Yes, it's sales coming. I see. All right, family. Let's jump into some of the fundamentals here. Let me switch over my screen to the economic calendar, because I do, as always, want to start off with the news events that we have this week, right? Make sure that we are set up, aware of any sort of volatility impact that may be coming into the markets this week. And as always, we're going to use the economic calendar, right? Found right on our website, profitsociety.co/economic calendar. So if you guys are on your desktop and you want to follow around, there's your link. But let's take a look at what we got for the week. All right, so we do have on Monday some housing news out of Canada. We also have President Lagarde from the ECB going to be speaking out in the Eurozone. And that's pretty much it. I mean, some of this other soft data, not too concerning. Let's take a look at Tuesday. On Tuesday, we do have a bunch of PMI numbers out from the Eurozone. So that's going to be interesting to see. That's all going to pop off, a little bit after that London Open. President Lagarde going to speak again on that following Tuesday. So he's going to be speaking back-to-back Monday and Tuesday. Let me see here. What else do we have on Tuesday? We have inflation numbers for New Zealand and Australia. Widely expected to get worse. Well, better in New Zealand. And, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing here. Yeah, widely expected to get slightly better in both areas, although they are looking at about a 1% drop in inflation rate over quarter for New Zealand. That's actually a pretty big jump. Not as big expectation out there in Australia, but nonetheless, still expecting a slight dip. So on Wednesday, your high-impact events will be, again, that Bank of Canada monetary policy report and interest rate decision, which I believe Eric just mentioned in the chat. So that will be your volatility impact on Wednesday. I don't think there's too much else here. Again, there will be some Bank of Canada speeches happening that day. I'm not entirely sure what's up with my computer right now. That's running a little laggy and slow like that, but we'll get through it. There is some Japan news. I think there was some Japan news today too, right? Yeah, monetary policy meetings came out before. I don't think that impacted the market too much. A lot of that hit last week. Let's see what else we have past the Canadian news on Wednesday. So on Thursday, some interest rate decisions for some exotics here like the ZAR. I don't really see too much else. There are some retail, wholesale, durable goods numbers coming out for the U.S. All bunch of soft data at 8:30. What is this on Thursday? So Thursday 8:30 going to have a little bit of volatility spike behind it. Probably won't have too much follow through though. This is again a bunch of soft data. There is some initial jobless claims. Are we moving into NFP week? No, NFP's next week. So there are some job numbers coming out on Wednesday as well. If you're paying attention to jobs numbers, you're going to want to pay attention to the initial jobless claim that comes out. Some home numbers. Again, we don't expect this stuff to really be that great. And then on Friday, it looks like we have some GDP numbers for the Euro area. Lagarde looks like he's got a pretty busy week speaking a third time here after Monday and Tuesday. So it does look like it's a pretty light fundamental week, specifically speaking for the dollar. I do know next week will be jam-packed with news, but we'll get to that next Sunday. But yeah, a bunch of soft data for the dollar. We do have, again, the Bank of Canada interest rates on Wednesday. So I would really say Wednesday is probably going to be your most active fundamental day, unless you're looking specifically at some of this Euro data and these Lagarde speeches as well. So it does seem like a pretty straightforward week, family. Not too much to worry about. Again, I don't particularly trade the CAD. That's, more Kyle's pair. So, if you guys are trading Bank of Canada or USD CAD with Kyle this week, just be aware of that volatility that's going to come in on Wednesday. So that does basically sum up, all right, what we have in the news here. What website are you using to find CPI news? I mean, you can use any economic calendar. You can use the one that we have up right now on our website. You could use stuff from investing.com, Forex Factory, whatever it may be. The data is going to be the same across all of the calendars anyway. How about debt ceiling being hit? Isn't that high impact news? I mean, at this point, we've already hit the debt ceiling, and I really haven't kept up with what they're doing about that specifically. Is it high impact news? I mean, it's important news, but it isn't necessarily something that's going to dictate too much with the market. It's really about how they're going to handle that, but they're more likely going to handle this by just increasing the debt ceiling. That's always been the solution. It probably always will be the solution. The debt ceiling is kind of just this thing that makes them kind of get a little bit tighter with spending as it approaches, but ultimately, it's something that they always kind of raise. So kind of just keep that in mind. So that being said, family, let's tick over to some charts and take a look at what we may have this week. This is your opportunity as well to drop any pairs you guys want us to go over in the chat. And as you guys do that, I'm going to just see if Kyle and Ray want to say what's up to the chat. So let me allow you guys to unmute yourselves. So Kyle, Ray, how you guys feeling? Say what's up to the family here.
What's good? What's good, everybody? Hope y'all are having a phenomenal weekend so far. Ready to hit the week again, hit the ground running, and make a lot of stuff happen this week. So I'm definitely excited. I'm still floating in a handful of pairs from last week, so I'm gonna look to be added on to what we doing well already. But I'm definitely excited. What's up, everybody? Happy to be here with all of y'all.
What's going on? What's going on, family? Okay, I see you, my brother Ray. Yo, I'm amped. You guys already know this is our first week officially launched as a Profit Society. I mean, guys, as you guys will start to notice, we're gonna start really only doing these free sessions, maybe a couple times a week, while we really focus on giving as much value to the Profit Society premium members. Right? Shout out to all you guys. If you guys are a Profit Society premium member that just locked in with us over the past weekend, I need you guys to drop a $sign in the chat. I need everybody to know who's exclusive, who's ready to get this bag and really learn exclusively from us. So, I want to see my exclusive members in the chat. I'm very hyped for this week. I'm going to be sending all my personal trades. I used to be giving out for free for the past year now, and all of my trades will be exclusive to the Profit Society and the Currency Connect. Maybe only going to give 1 or 2 trades a week for free. But at the end of the day, guys, we will still be giving free value, but we want to make sure that we give our most attention, our most effort to the premium members. So shout out to all the premium members. I see you guys in the chat going crazy. I'm excited to kill the week with you guys.
Yes, sir. So let's dive in and see what we got here on a few pairs. And I really want to just take a look at this EU specifically because I know there was a few people in the chat that were looking at this early week here. We're kind of just taking some of this, built up liquidity that we've had for basically, I mean, what's this now? About 2 weeks? Yeah, about 10 days. About 2 weeks of trading activity. So with that in mind, I know there was a few people possibly looking at EU sells from here. I mean, my thing with this is, it is Sunday, so we do have to take this push up with a little bit of a, perspective of it could just be, some spillover activity from last week. And by the time volume comes in on Monday, maybe we do still fill this wick. Because I do believe we will still look to target this wick. But I do also agree that this might be worth a potential stab up here. I probably wouldn't be risking too much, probably less than 0.25%. And I really want to see it get that back below 108.90 before I really kind of commit to this. Because, again, it really hasn't produced anything up here that makes me interested in selling. You guys know I am longer term bullish on this. But I am, taking a look at this as we've just opened up a new 4-hour candle. And if we do get back below 108.90, I might have to just run a super tight stop and see if it holds overnight into London. So I do know that there's a few people looking at that. Typically on these Sunday calls, I'm just looking for areas of liquidity that I believe the market can reach. I don't like to you know, go too deep into analysis because, again, it is Sunday, right? I want to see what the market actually opens up with on Monday. But I do have to say, the degenerate side of me, the higher risk side of me, is looking at this like, I could probably run a 15 pip stop, and if the idea works, it works. If it doesn't, then so be it. But yeah, I do agree that there is the potential here that this is like a UTAD. For those of people that know about Wyckoff logic, and if you don't, that basically just means that we're grabbing enough liquidity up here that sellers might be able to take control of the market and return us back into the range, and this might be a high point of the range, basically taking out all the stops and liquidity above here, and giving us enough power and juice to actually return down. That's also why I want to see it kind of return back down first, so I can use that also as confirmation. Because again, there's no volume in the market, but it's Sunday, right? How much volume do we really expect these pairs to have, 4 hours after the open? So when it comes to EU this week, again, I want to see how we respond up here. Let me just delete some of these other lines off my chart, and actually let me just remove my longer term swing analysis or P&L thing here away from current price action, so we could just take a cleaner look at what's going on. So again, like I might entertain something, if we can get back below this level and run like a nice little 20 pip stop, and just see if that holds overnight. Again, I don't expect much out of this. I actually mostly do expect the trade to fail. But if we can get back below here, the probability that we're going to go and take out, all the liquidity that sits below this quote unquote trend line, and then even the, actually, one second, let me just make sure that these boys could see what I'm doing as well. I'm sorry, guys. And also potentially even target this old wick. It's just a matter, though, of this building enough calls and the sellers being able to take enough control of this pair to kind of bring us back down. So I will be looking at something like this week, this week. Maybe closer to the live trading sessions on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when we're live on the actual website. Maybe we'll be taking a look at this. But it might be worth the stab just above these areas. So I know there was a few people looking at that. Again, strictly speaking, though, these lower time frames really haven't showed me too much. Let me go check on chat real quick, see what some of the pairs you guys all wanted were going to be. Let's see. Started trading at 16, watching Abel every day, 2 years straight on IM. Thank you. Yeah, listen, bro. It sounds like you on the same path that Kyle took. That boy Kyle started at 15, 16. So keep at it, my brother. Simple math tells me you're probably around 18, 19, maybe even, probably 18, 19. But yeah, keep going at it, bro. Stay on that journey. We're always here for you to support you in any way. Can we take a look at Euro USD? We definitely just did. Again, I want to see some more data on this, but I will continue to lean with a little bit. Put it this way, guys. I'm not really interested in buying up here. We all know that, right? You guys all know I have my long-term buys from down here. I'm not really looking to add on to this trend here. At this point, I'm just looking for reasons on why this might come back to correct some of this, reaccumulation ranges, liquidity inside of here, some of these wicks that were left unfilled. And with that being said, again, this is one area I want to look. If not, I have this, after we can get this daily wick fill, then I'll look at that level. So EU is going to be pretty simple for me. It's just a matter of when it wants to give me this move. Let's just take a look and see if there's any pairs that we normally don't go over. Gold we'll take a look at, absolutely. NASDAQ, bunch of dollar signs from the people that hopped in the premium. Shout out to you guys. We love and appreciate y'all. And you guys know we're going to have a fantastic week with you guys. So let's take a look. Can we chart US 30? We'll take a look at indices in general. A lot of people want gold. Hit the like button. Yes, a fact. We would appreciate if y'all hit the like button. As always, that just helps YouTube understand the content better and deliver it to more people. It's absolutely free to do, and we absolutely love you for doing it. If we was trading pre-London hours, I would have sold already. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like again, like I don't really like taking this on a Sunday 4 hours after open. If we were like after London Open and we were up here, like if this was the London Open move and we moved up here, I'd be more willing to take a stab at it. But in its current state, it's just sitting up here after the Sunday Open, so not something I really want to trade. We'll take a look at gold and other stuff though and see if there's a reason. Maybe we'll hop in this. Yeah, it is tough with the DXY. So let me see. I'll go over gold as well real quick. Let's take a look at this. Let me just delete all this other nonsense that we took other weeks off my charts. I am still looking at that liquidity. Let me just zoom out real quick and just make sure we delete some stuff that we don't need, like this and this and this and this. We won't see those. Don't need this either. You guys can see how, oh no, not my long-term position. All right, so let's zoom out, take a look. I do apologize, my chart is a mess. I did not clean up before we came on stream here. And I can't delete everything. All right, let's just take a look at it like this. Come out to the daily again. So gold's been very much like EU, right, guys? This has been very bullish. Not really something I'm looking to buy into specifically up here. The question is though, like again, we still have not hit areas that I'm looking for price to hit. I am still looking at this level up here, which is the 1958 level, right? Still expecting price to make its way up to this point. Kind of like EU filling out that daily wick. You know, this is something that I'm taking a look at. And yeah, I don't think I really want to touch this thing until we get that. You know, 4-hour structure is still intact, very bullish. The only thing that's like really beginning to concern me is we do start to see some selling volume coming in, and the buyers just again are you know, kind of dwindling down. But until I see a reaction from these sellers and like actually see them able to break structure, it's hard to commit to the sell side. If I really wanted to be a degenerate and look for a reason to sell and force a reason to sell, I'd probably ask myself, you know, what's happening with this wick, right? Are we going to fill out this wick? Are we going to play into this and maybe fade off? And then even if we do get that, what's the chance of that really holding? Well, right now, we don't have anything that really commits to us to say that's going to hold. So again, the more I look at this, the more I kind of just see no reason to specifically jump into a sell or to even really look to the sell side. So I think my advice on gold would be just to wait and see what happens up above this 1958 area. So if you're in buys, continue to hold. If you're looking to go short, again, to clear some of this really, you know, smooth and sub-cycle kind of move, like all these little reaccumulations that keep happening, again, for my Wyckoff traders. Eventually, these will get wiped, but we do need to take a supply that is powerful enough to warrant a pullback. So, again, even with stuff like this, anything dollar related, you know, maybe we do get a little bit of a fade off, but I won't trust them until we see some sell volume come in. I do just want to make sure that Kyle and Ray don't have any specific thoughts on EU and gold before we go too far ahead. I want to make sure we do keep this as like a round table. So Kyle, Ray, you guys have any opinions on either of these two pairs? Anything you want to share with them specifically on EU or gold?
Gold specifically, I don't really trade too often, nor EU. You know, I'm more of a GBP guy, but I did see something on EuroCAD. You know, it's not necessarily confirmed yet, but it is just a potential. You know, me, I always like to trade. You know, just see if I could get anything going on Sundays. But so far as EU and gold, nothing at all.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? To be honest, I do kind of have like an area that I do want you guys to keep in mind on EU. To be honest, it's crazy. I was kind of attempting something at the market open. just like Ray, I always like to play the daily candle opens. And also you guys need to realize that it's also a new weekly candle open. So for this week, whether we're gonna close bullish or bearish is kind of up to the market. If we start off on the monthly on EU, there's kind of really nothing telling me short until we probably get up to here. But if we go down to maybe like the weekly, I do see this little hidden supply right here. Shout out to you guys that use supply and demand, but an even bigger shout out to you guys that use hidden supply and demand. I do like this as a nice hidden supply. And to be honest, if we go down to the daily, this candle right here really sticks out to me because I want you guys to understand when you're playing candles that raid liquidity and take out traders, those have a lot more higher probability of playing out than just a regular supply and demand candle. This is what a lot of people like to call the IC candle, the candle that takes out liquidity, takes out traders, and rebalances price. So if I were to play an area on an EU sell, this would be the area I'd actually be a lot more confident in. I like to trade with if then statements. So, to be honest, if this plays out, then we can start to look bearish. But for now, I just, wouldn't fight this until I get a clear setup, right? Until maybe tomorrow or, sometime during New York session during my trading window. I'm not really going to trade outside my trading window. So again, I'm keeping a look at this candle right here. It definitely gives me a lot of confidence. And I think we can target that to see some potential bearishness. But yeah, for now, we're about a lot more pips. What are we like? Maybe like
Yeah,
150
200.
pips away.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to go that far. Like, to be honest, you guys have to understand I'm waiting for more data. And I'm pretty sure that's what all of us on this call and Skags are waiting for. We're waiting for something like this break of structure, and then we can start to take this thing down. But for now, we cannot assume. Like, understand, guys, the 80-20 rule. If you guys were on the session on, I believe, Thursday, drop a dollar sign in the chat if you guys caught this bag with me when I called out this EU buy, right? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I told Skaggs when I was buying this, and he was like, "Bro, you're crazy." But as I understand the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time the market is gonna continue, and 20% of the time is gonna reverse. So I like to play these continuations. I like to buy and keep buying because the market will continue. Sometimes, even for months, it could continue. Obviously, it's been going up for so long, so I don't think we have months of bullishness in EU. I think maybe like a couple days or weeks or so. But like I said, guys, play the continuation until it fails, right? It hasn't failed us. The structure has not failed us. So until we can see a break of structure, that's when I'll get my confirmation to start shorting this thing again. But like I said, there are a lot of you guys that caught this EU trade with me. And to be honest, like I said, like I always tell this to a lot of you guys. It's called the point oh 0.01 trick. It's crazy because a lot of you guys are probably not even in this trade still. And it's really, if you're not in this trade, start doing this now. The point oh 0.01 trick. Every single time you take a setup and you feel like closing out, or you're closing out majority of your profits or something, always hold a point oh 0.01 just for shits and giggles, just to see like what happens. And guess what? It's gonna help you hold your trades a lot more. If you have problems holding your trades, use the point oh 0.01 trick. And like I said, it's running out of 1 to 8. So with that being said, again, I'm waiting for clear break of structure or this area, whichever happens first.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. The idea of it, still remaining bullish. I mean, you know me. I'm just looking for reasons to hedge. And I know a few people are looking at this as a potential UTAD, which again, it could be, but like Kyle said, we don't really have too much confirmation, at all. I'm just looking for a reason to risk, 15 pips on a Sunday just to see if stuff sticks. Again, that's how I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to take a lot of stabs at the market because I know my risk to reward, and my money management at the end of the day is what keeps me, which keeps me blue, as we like to say. But I definitely agree that daily candle, which I think is roughly around where I was looking at with this wick fill. I'm just gonna switch over to my chart real quick just to check real quick. Yeah, it's more or less the same area, that same wick fill. Actually, no, you're looking up at like 110 up here.
Yeah, I like this daily candle.
Yeah, I mean we have to get the wick fill before we get that. So, but I do agree. I do like that daily candle as an area to play. I'm just again, entertaining lower time frame stuff. If we can get below here. But yeah,
And I
that
will
that uh that
entertain it
definitely
with you.
sums up our thoughts on EU family. Again, Kyle and I kind of on the same you know same idea. All
Cody
right.
asked, "Yo, did you take the EU self?" Yes, I did. Like I said, I did take lower time frame stuff, and I like to take trades off of daily candle opens. So, like for you guys on this call, study the candle opens and candle closures. Like at the end of the day, a lot of the times when a candle first opens and the momentum that is going at when it's first open could be a fake out, could be a wick. And at the end of the day, it doesn't have to always do that. A candle could just close solid up or solid down. But at the end of the day, if you have a 5, 10 pip, 15 pip stop loss and you're playing these candle openings and these candle closures, and you know how to time things like that, like it could bring you big risk reward. So yeah, I did take it, and that's fine. Like I did take a half of a percent risk loss, but that's fine. At the end of the day, all it takes is one trade for me to literally gain back 8, 10%. So, that's the way that we trade here, guys. All of us don't know exactly what's going to happen in the market. We're just out here making very, very calculated risks. That's your job as a trader. Take the best calculated risk and you always win.
All right. Y'all heard it from the man himself. Let's jump into some indices for some people because I know some people wanted that. So let's take a look. So I do know that we were discussing this last week, right? Last week we were taking a look at, and I'm going to use NASDAQ as my index, but we'll also go over some other stuff. Again, let me just clear up some of this stuff here that's no longer necessary. All these little lines. But yeah, family, last week we were looking at this coming down to fill this wick here at 11,223. Unfortunately, I never got an alert on this. Well, quite frankly, we never broke below it. So we were looking at this 11,200 area to kind of resume buying. Again, never quite filled it. Did come down, played with the area. And then by Friday actually ended up closing, back towards the highs. So we never really got a re-entry. I am still bullish on indices. I will still continue to look bullish on indices. I'm looking for it to come all the way up to 12,800. You guys may or may not know this. You may or may not still be in this trade. Actually, let me get a dollar sign in the chat if you guys are still holding this trade that we took on January 6th. It was more or less. Yeah, on Friday, January 6th, we had taken these buys. We're still in these buys. And again, I've told you guys, we've taken partials on this. We're just looking to hold, like Kyle said, with that point oh 0.01 trick, which, for me and a lot of you guys, is not actually a point oh 0.01. It's just remaining partials. We still have remaining partials open from here. Hopefully, you guys are still riding this with me. There's been no real reason to close. We were looking for reasons to add on to the position, but we never got those. Now, with that being said, what do I really expect out of this week? Well, I kind of do expect more bullishness, unfortunately. I know there's probably a lot of people that are, looking at, potentially this kind of order block holding. And again, you might get a little reaction off of here into the open, and maybe we do fade off. But I do still think ultimately this is going to remain bullish, which doesn't speak much hope into us getting an EU pullback. Because if this continues up, the likelihood that EU continues up is, the same. But sometimes they get a little bit disconnected. The ECB has a lot of news this week, so maybe that kind of sways things around. But ultimately, I am going to still look bullish on this. At this point, though, there's just nowhere for me to buy into here. And And even on some of these lower time frames, I probably wouldn't want to touch this. You know, the most logical demand area would probably be below here. Right, so if I was looking to get into this, it would be like more or less down here. But even then, I'm not too confident in this area. Because for me, it's like below all of this would be ideal. Right, ideally we'll come back and take out like this really choppy, what like Ray would call internal range liquidity, or for me would be like a liquidity pocket. So I would rather play inside of this liquidity pocket down here, which is just the area between what is forming here is like a new higher low versus the low. So basically just this entire like little pocket of money. This is just a better risk to reward area for me to play than to play off this like mid range kind of weaker demand. So maybe we do pull back. Again though, as we come down to this price, I'm just going to get more and more concerned that maybe even this is like just not the peak low, right? So I think I'm going to remain patient. I'm going to see what EU really gives me. And I think on NASDAQ, I'm going to try to just give out enough discipline and patience. And I think I'm going to just ignore this old zone that I was looking at. Even ignore these lows, because again, I'm not too confident in this since it didn't take the wick. And I think I'm just going to look at this 11,175 area and just wait until this gets taken. So just in case you can't see the numbers, it is 11,175 more or less. So I will continue to look and wait for this before I add on to my buys. Let me just check chat though and see who are my people that are still in buys on this. Apparently nobody. Oh, that disappoints me. Come on, family. We could hold for longer than a week. Come on, guys. This trade is a banger of a trade. We're up 800 points. You know, it's been about 16 days. Y'all could hold it with me, you know. But yeah, let's see if we can get everybody in a re-entry down to 11,175. This is preferably where I want to buy. Again, I'm just not too confident in the lows that we came off of on a Friday. So possibly by the open tomorrow, again, maybe we play here. Maybe we even fill the wick. I don't even really care about it falling from here too much, you know. But I do want to see it spill over, take some of this, and then we can kind of continue up. In a perfect world, we will fill this wick and leave liquidity above here. So ideally, we create like a perfect double top and then like fade off. And then once we can capture this downside liquidity, then we still have liquidity resting above here. And then we can come back. So in a perfect world, this is what I would get. Again, though, like Kyle said, it's not our job to, you know, control the markets. It's to react and act accordingly. But if I had to draw a roadmap for it, and you guys know me, I love to draw roadmaps. This is like, you know, I take great pride in being able to forecast the market like this. So I will leave this here, and we will see what we get. Let me just check to see what US 30 looks like. Yeah, see, US 30 is a lot weaker. This did not have the same week that NASDAQ had. So this situation's a little bit different. Sorry, I'm trying to stay hydrated here. We did play below here, again, playing inside of liquidity pockets, right? Playing inside of this little liquidity pocket here. And we did react, but again, I don't see much buying activity. So again, I would probably lean towards the same thing on this. Is we're probably, wow, this chart is ugly. Wow, this is ugly in comparison to NASDAQ. Yeah, see, this is like so suspect to me, right? All these little lows right here below this pocket that we play. So I'm really thinking that move on Friday was just not going to be a legitimate hold. So again, I do see like the same thing here. This doesn't really have anything to go and retest. So again, maybe we just end up pulling. Maybe we push a little bit higher. I'm not really concerned with what it does up here. I'm just concerned with the fact that it's going to come down, grab some of this liquidity, and then once we recover, we can begin to play it back to the buy side. But yeah, there's a lot of pent-up liquidity below these lows, and I just don't think this move from Friday holds at all. So let me see what else we have in the chat. Let me see. Cody's saying Greg. Hold on, let me go back. Did I miss a comment from Greg? My bad. Any instructions for those coming over from Skag Academy? Yeah, if you are an active member of Skag Academy, right, which is what I was doing before Prophet Society, my own thing. If you do have a monthly membership over there that is active, make sure you guys message me and I will get you plugged into the Prophet Society, and I will take care of you that way. Just DM me and I'll take care of all that. And appreciate you, Cody, for bringing him up to speed on that. Chris said phase one passed already, live account low. Let's go, Chris. Let me get some congratulations in the chat for that boy Chris for passing phase one. Remember, family, we like to celebrate, right? We like to celebrate other people's successes so we can attract our own successes, right? You are what you celebrate. So let me get some congrats in the chat for that boy. Let me see what else we got. Do you correlate NAS with EU? So indices and any dollar pair does have some correlations, and if you're unaware of the correlations, what you need to understand about indices is that they are directly correlated to dollars. Right? When you buy a stock, you are effectively selling your dollars for equity in that company. So anytime you buy a stock or an index, you are effectively selling dollars and again buying equity. Same thing when you sell a stock, right? You are selling the equity and you are buying back dollars. So typically, if the dollar is bullish, all right, you would be looking at a correlation that is negative in the indices. Same thing if indices are bullish, typically speaking, you do get that kind of bearish reaction out of the dollar. Now, is this always tied together? No. You got to apply the 80-20 rule to everything. There is discorrelation in the markets. There are, opportunities where things move against each other or against the standard correlation for a little bit. But typically speaking, yes, they are correlated, and that's why I trade the things that I trade. Let's see what else we have. I'm holding the trade in spirit with you. I appreciate you, 20 Bit Savage. I appreciate it, my guy. I'm a biased seller this week, though. That's one reason why I don't trade US 30. Not saying they both don't move slowly, but I like Nas. Yeah, they're a little bit different, Again, you got to understand the tech sector has its own stuff going on sometimes. If you're going to trade indices, though, you should really pick one and stick with it. So if you like SPX, just trade SPX. If you like the NASDAQ, just trade the NASDAQ. If you like US 30, just trade US 30. Because you will have times, again, where they are doing slightly different things and they're not fully correlated. And you don't want your opinion on one to impact the opinion of the other. And thank you guys for all dropping all those congrats. All right. Kyle Ray, you guys have anything on indices that you want to go over? I know you guys don't typically trade them, but figured I'd ask.
Now, one thing I will say about trading indices is crazy. Like I'd say the last quarter or so of the year, I actually started trading NAS like almost on a daily basis. And I will say that focusing on one pair, you really do start to find what it is that the confirmations that pair typically gives. And just for me, I used to avoid not or indices in general just because I never got into the hype of seeing certain dollar amounts on a small lot size, because I'm like, at the end of the day, it's risk to reward. So I just stuck to what I was comfortable with, which was currencies. But one thing I can tell you, man, is like Nas is definitely very fun. I love trading Nas, um, especially when all of my personal confirmations line up with it. So focusing on one thing is definitely the way to go. I never really ever took a look at US 30, but typically I enjoy trading Nas if it's moving right, But that's all from me. US 30 though, I do like what you have marked up. It makes sense just from my perspective. Um, I like the weak lows getting swept, but the strong low holding up, or a low that at least has more strength holding up. That if I was to take any trade, that would probably be it. It's just finding that sell, because obviously you're on the 4 hour. So when, whenever that sell actually happens, we can play off of that level. So
Yeah, definitely agree. I don't think I'm personally going to be looking at selling it to down there, but I will be a buyer if we can get that low. I mean, even on the 15-minute, I mean, this low, it looks a little stronger, but when you zoom out and you just take account of what's happening over here, again, it's unlikely that we don't take this. I would be surprised if we got a nice bullish move without actually coming down below this level. So yeah, I think we're in alignment there. I think the only thing else that I have to go over that's in the chat is GJ, which has been quite annoying to say the least. At this point, guys, I do lean towards a little bit more of a bullish GJ. She might, and again, I know Eric is going to love this, but at this point, I am beginning to rule in the possibility that we do come and fill this wick at 162.32. I'm finally opening up this level because she's taken multiple attempts to move to the downside, and she just hasn't been able to capture enough, supply in order to make that move. So at this point, I really am just leaning to the idea that she does need to come up and fill this wick, fill up this supply, play with this area of imbalance, inefficiency, fair value gap, right? Whatever you want to call it. Just kiss this a little bit, and then maybe we can get that sell. So, yeah, for the time being, I do have to remain patient on this. I will say on Friday I did take a sell from up here. I have since closed that position on the open today. I think I closed it like 6 or 7 pips ago. It wasn't too long ago. Because at this point, again, I just see all the reason for it to come up to this 162.30, 162.40 area. And then once it does that, we'll kind of reassess what this wants to do. But since we, had this news that got completely erased, and then for whatever reason we were able to erase that move again, and we're just continuing to build up liquidity here, the way that I see this kind of working out is it's going to just keep playing against that supply until we compress enough, pop, and then maybe we can get, another opportunity to potentially go short. You guys know longer term I am looking at shorts on this. But again, the more that we play around in this area and we don't get those quick, immediate reactions and sell-offs, the more I'm going to open up higher price levels. So I know you guys have been waiting to again, swing this GJ with me. I'd still do continue to hold from like 169. That is the only position I have open at this point, and I've partialed out a lot of this. So at this point, I'm just trying to be patient to see if this does work out as a redistribution, whether or not we get like a UTAD over here, because there's just nothing inside of this area that tells me, to continue to fade this. So my setup may or may not look like something like this after it spikes up, and then we'll play the risk to reward to again, however much it wants to spike up, and then see if we can come take out these lows. These lows are not strong lows for me, right? They are not like market bottoms. This will eventually get taken. It's just a matter of now finding the correct supply and timing in the market to actually achieve that. So, this might sit here for some time. We might have to capture it to the upside first, and then we'll play that. So, for those of you stalking GJ with me, that's gonna be the plan and the roadmap for that. Let me see what we got in the chat. I'm in the long. I see 50% imbalance mitigation play. Yeah, I don't play imbalances like that. For me, imbalances are gonna do one of two things for me. It's either gonna kiss the imbalance, which means it's gonna fill this wick, come and kiss it like right here, right? Basically just hitting it a little bit. If you're gonna play a 50% of this, you're probably gonna get wrecked, because more times than not, imbalances only work when they kiss or they fill the entire thing. So if it doesn't kiss and drop, then even if it comes up here and you do get a reaction, ultimately it's going to just fill the entire thing. And it's probably going to come for the CB that's sitting up here. So for me, there is no playing in the 50%. The 50% means absolutely nothing to me in any capacity. I've back-tested that a lot. The 50% imbalance does virtually nothing every single time. I mean, if that logic was true, what happened here at the 50%? Right? Nothing. It just sliced right through it, because again, it tried kissing it, didn't work. came up, and then by that time it just fills it all. I've never seen sufficient data that suggests to me that a 50% of an imbalance has any actual valid meaning. Again, if you have the data that proves that to you, by all means, I'm not telling you, to not do that. Yeah, I hope the trade works out in your favor for sure. I'm just telling you from my experience, the way I handle imbalances and fair value gaps, or what I call inefficiencies, is that it's gotta kiss then drop. If not, it fills the entire thing. And people that follow me and are a part of Skag Academy know that I don't specifically try to play inside of inefficiencies. We use inefficiencies and imbalances as like a area to take profits, not an area to enter the market. But yeah, hopefully that works out for you. If you get all your confirmations. Let's see. But like you said, the reaction after that wick fill got to be strong. Yeah, exactly. I mean, once we get this wick fill, we'll know more or less right away whether or not it's something worth entering. Because you would get like a live OB that forms up here. You would get a lot of sell volume on a lower time frame. You would be able to confirm it off of more than just the wick fill. We're not gonna just set a limit here and just hope that we get what we want. That's definitely not how we trade. Crypto had a nice pump this weekend. It did. Shout out to my reel that I put up as well. That resistance turning into support. And shout out to all of y'all that commented on that. I love y'all. What do you think about gold pulling back to 1922? I mean, we definitely looked at gold just recently. I want to see it pull back below 1900. So again, it looks like it's maybe getting a little bit of a sell off here. Actually, let's go take a look at EU. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take high risk EU sells, family, just to be real with you. So don't be surprised if you see me. I'm probably gonna run a stop at like 109. Yeah, like 109.10 probably. I'm probably just gonna see what this can do. Again, this is super high risk, high chance of failure. Not something I'm gonna risk more than 0.5% on. Probably even less. But again, like we talked about, there is the potential that a UTAD here is forming. I would like to see you get under 108.90, which is, again, I get it, is a pip and a half away. But ideally, I would like to see a break below here, and then I'll just take the next little retest up. And I'm only mentioning that because we just tapped over to gold. I do see that we have the boy Abel Melendez on the call now. Abel, what's going on, bro? How you feeling about this week? If you with us and can speak.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling phenomenal, to be honest with you. I feel like it's gonna be a great week. I'm excited for it. And yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and see what we can do this week.
Yes, sir. All right. So, yeah, those are the pairs that I kind of wanted to go over, guys. We went over EU, we went over gold, we went over the indices. We'll see again if EU wants to give us what we're looking at. And we also just went over GJ. Does anybody else on the call have anything they want to go over? Kyle, USD CAD, Ray, you got anything? Abel, you have any thoughts to add to the stuff that we went over, maybe?
Hey man, y'all know me. I cannot resist a good USD CAD trade. Um, I did drop this in the Profit Society, the community chat, and I do just want to go over it a little bit because I did drop two trades, full transparency. I was shorting EU at a 10 pip stop earlier, but then I got stopped. So that's why I'm kind of just like sitting back. My EU buy from the session on Thursday is still in profit. So it only just took off a little bit of the profits that we was on that trade. So a lot of the things that I'm actually gonna start doing for you guys is showing you guys the before and afters of just all these setups because here at the Profit Society, we like to stay very transparent. We like to really show you guys the before and afters of these setups. And EU is a setup I do have the chart on the before, just to kind of show you guys what we were looking at. So right here, I'm gonna share my screen. I had sent this out like literally like maybe like 2 minutes before the session started. I was looking at this and I was like, man, I really think EU's gonna buy. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what happened. Let me see if I can go to this one. I'm gonna switch back to my screen. So yeah, I mean, this level did hold. So any like shorts that you guys took up here, this was just a battle of ping pong, to be honest. We were playing like Skags and Abel was playing shorts up here. I was playing longs down here. So it had to be one of them had to play. That's the beautiful thing about private society. Like we have expert analysis from multiple traders. So a lot of you guys that took the Wednesday sell with Skags and Abel, y'all at least caught a 1 to 3. Y'all at least made that 1 to 3 bag. Y'all at least caught 80 pips. And to be honest, don't be scared when you're in profit. Like Skaggs always says, to hedge. And I was taking this sell as well with you guys. Every single trade, like y'all see Skaggs and Abel call out, or even Ray. I could vet for them. I could take my own trade. I could take my own trades, but I could also take their trades with confidence and catch these pips. So at the end of the day, when that played out, I was still taking a short up here when the market opened. So I really only lost a little bit of the profits. Now I also called out USD CAD in the community chat as well. And I was like, man, even though that EU got stopped out, I am kind of looking for bullish dollar at some point this week. I am kind of just in that state of mind that even though we are continuing, and I like to play that 80-20 rule, understand, guys, when you guys are floating in profit on a setup, don't get too excited, don't get too antsy, don't get too hype and start, just celebrating and already spending the money. That's what I used to do. I used to be in profit on the trade, and then I'll be like, yo, lunch is on me. And then, yo, all of a sudden I look at my phone and the trade retraced, and now you're negative. So don't count the profits until it's withdrawn. So if you guys are floating in profit on setups, like I like to always look at the opposite side. When can this thing reverse? When can this thing snap back? And at the end of the day, I have two kind of regions. I feel like even though we have been bearish dollar, we have to play that double-edged sword sometimes. We have to look on the other direction sometimes because, like I said, it could always snap back at any moment. So, I am looking at this region to see if we could possibly go bullish from here. And maybe at this, I would say below the sweep of these lows. That could be a possibility for us to start the week. Whether that continues and breaks up, I don't know. But we could also have a possibility of this. Even if we do get a bullish reaction to start the week, keep in mind, this zone could give us some trouble as well. So if you are playing reactions down here, and you're kind of hedging your positions or something like that, keep in mind that we would have to break this. And until we break this, the easiest thing to do is just to wait for that. The degenerate thing to do would be to enter positions. But at the end of the day, that's not really what we want to do. So USD CAD, like I said, whether this sticks or not, I really don't even care, because if it doesn't stick, we got a possible redistribution schematic. This is something I'm also looking at on USD CAD. So if this sticks and we could break above here, which is what I would really like, because we have some higher inefficiency up here, that would be amazing. But again, the market doesn't always give us what we like to see. From the daily perspective, we are pretty much just good to go, because we're moving efficiently on the daily. So this is something that can easily just drop. And you guys know my main targets that I've been speaking about on USD CAD is this imbalance. We're chasing this imbalance right here. My long-term targets on USD CAD is 1.30475. I believe within the next couple of weeks, this will be achieved. This 1.30475. That is my major long-term target. So if you're swinging anything, you're looking for major long-term positions, aim towards the bearish side. like I said, there's two possible entries that I have for swings that I'm gonna be going 1% risk on. This is where I'm gonna put majority of my risk on. Right now, I'm a little bit risk off. Majority of my positions right now are taken with 0.5%, 1/4% risk right now. But I am going to start being risk on when we start getting big bearish. Start getting big bearish setups on USD CAD because I am seeking these levels and I am very confident that they will be achieved. So per my bias, these regions right here look very sweet for swing entries. Obviously, this one's a little bit more preferred because it's more in discount. We were to draw our fib. The level that we did tap off of was the 50. So it is technically a discount, and it is technically something that could play out. And shout out to a lot of people that did catch this on the Thursday session with me. This was litty. But at the end of the day, if this is the entry, then I won't even mind. We do break down below, and then I would just simply wait for something like this. But the amazing thing that were to happen is, let's say we do some sort of lower time frame accumulation to come buy to sell. If we can get this buy to sell scenario, that would be the best possible extreme level for us to take USD CAD off of. And that would be a great risk to reward setup. Now, even if it comes here, this is still a great risk to reward. This is still something that I would love. But obviously, the higher we are in discount, technically a premium because we're selling this thing. Discount would be if we're buying on a retracement. But we're selling. We're looking to sell on a retracement. And the more we go deeper into this 50%, we start going up to the 62, the 71, the 88.6. That's more premium areas for us to sell. That is, trades that you could take more risk on and be more comfortable on as long as the trend is in your favor. So at the end of the day, guys, long term, I'm bearish on this thing, but I'd love to see a pop up, and this pop up could warrant us to here, or we could break these highs, and we'll manage the trade accordingly. I'll let you guys know. I'll stay tapped in with you guys on the Profit Society website and the Discord. I'll make sure I update you guys on everything USD CAD, because to be honest, the way it's looking, I really might even remove one pair off of my watch list, because to be honest, I cannot miss USD CAD setups. It's my main pair. And that's what a lot of you guys need to realize coming into 2023, that you don't need a lot of pairs to make money. If you really start journaling, and like I really talked to a lot of my students recently, and I asked them yo, show me your journal. And a lot of them call me and ask me questions and stuff like that. But I'm gonna start reinstating a rule for anybody that texts me or ask me a questions in the DMs or calls me and try to ask me a question. I'm gonna ask you yo, can I please see your journal? Because a lot of times that's not something that a lot of people have. And we do have a Profit Society exclusive journal that is branded with Profit Society. And honestly, guys, Skags, if you could drop the link to that in the chat, it's honestly amazing. And you guys need to start tracking your trades and stuff like that, because that is the thing that's going to give you the real breakthrough. That is the thing that
actually, real quick, Kyle, let's do a roll call. Can I get a 777 in the chat if you guys have your Profit Society trading journals and you're using it? I'm gonna stress the "and you're using it" too, because if you guys copped it and you haven't started filling it out yet, I mean, you guys must have had it for 2 weeks now. So hopefully you guys are actually using it, right? Because I like what Kyle is saying, man. A lot of you guys message us for help, but at the end of the day, you're not even helping yourselves because you're not even journaling. So, Kyle, I think that's a fantastic rule, bro, and I think we're all going to adopt that. Is if you can't show me the history of your trades through a journaled process, then really you coming to me is like, what am I supposed to do, right? If you don't have any data on the way you trade. So, and it's cool.
Facts.
Listen, if you guys have the journal and you haven't started using it, that's fine, right? But start using it. Like you can go back, just hit your trade history in MT4, go input all your stuff. We cannot stress enough. You will never hit an area of a level of profitability if you're not documenting. So Kyle, adding that rule, like I think we're all gonna add that rule.
Facts.
And right now, I mean, if you don't already have the journal, we don't have a way for you to get it. It was a part of the launch masterclass. I will have to get it up on the website as an individual thing for you guys to go grab. If you don't have it and you want it for that old launch masterclass, price, which is like $27, $27 to help you become profitable. I mean, it's a no brainer. And let me know too. Do you guys see all the sevens? Ask these people whether or not they like it, whether they think it's worth it or not. But I think that
Facts.
journal is key, is absolutely key. So Kyle, my man, I appreciate you for saying that because I think that's something that we're all going to adopt. Is to really just make sure these people that are coming to us for this direct help are, at the very least helping themselves through proper documentation.
Yup. That's a fact. Start that journal today, man. I'm telling you guys, like it's gonna help you guys out a lot because you'll know when you guys need to cut your wins, and cut your losses. At the end of the day, it's very very key that you manage your data. It's like showing up to like it's like showing up to the bank trying to get a loan, but you have no documentation. It's kind of like, yeah, you can like talk all you want, try to get them to convince them to give you a loan, but you have no documentation to prove for it. So yeah, guys, honestly, that's all I have on USD CAD. Just to sum it up, I have two potential swing entries for the Bears right here and right here. Mark these on your chart. I'll say the first one is at the 1.3465 level and the 1.36410 level. And at the end of the day, I would love to see price either come up to here and reject or come up to here and reject. But with that being said, guys, that's USD CAD. I'll update you guys on this as we go into the week. And if you guys do take any trades with us, or you guys are taking any trades off of these levels, again, hopefully you guys start that journal this week. I think it's a mandatory that you guys start the journal this week. And within a week or two, you guys are going to noticeable change in your trading.
Lit. Beautiful. Abel, did you have anything you wanted to share, my guy? Any pairs you wanted to go over? I know we went over a few things already. I don't know if you wanted to drop your perspective on it.
I mean, for the most part, a lot of our ideas pretty much align. I'm interested in that EU that you're also looking at as well. So I'm definitely going to be hawking that. I'm going to be hawking probably gold as well to see how that ends up setting up for the week. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what you guys are already looking for more than anything.
Yeah, this EU, I still haven't pulled the trigger on this because again, there's just nothing. There's nothing on these lower time frames. I keep talking about this 108.90. Like we're not able to get below it. So I'm just not seeing any sellers coming into this, and we're just continuing to build up liquidity up here at this point. So. Again, we did just open a new hour candle, so maybe that's all this is. It's just early hour push. Maybe it does fill these wicks and then comes down. But again, until I see something, I'm not going to particularly look at anything specific. Let me just take over this as well so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let me see what we got in the chat real quick, family. Were there any pairs that you guys wanted that we didn't go over? Let us know, right? Ask now or, don't get your answer. Let me see what we got, though. A bunch of sevens. Love that you guys are actually journaling. And don't forget, family, if you guys are a part of the Premium of Profit Society and you guys have that journal, we will be doing monthly performance reviews where we do expect people to hop on calls with us and, share their journal. Right, whether you're having a good week or a bad week, especially if you're having a bad week, because then we could actually go over a lot of the lessons that you could start to implement to turn that around. But we will be doing those at the end of each month, and I probably will be hosting that at the end of this month, starting the end of this month. So for the premium people, it's even more important to, if you're not using our journal, have a journal at all to get in there. Kyle, No, bro. What are you doing? No. Kyle trying to give you guys stuff that you shouldn't be getting. If you got the link, good for you, but otherwise, please don't share that. Let me see what we got. GBP USD and GBP AUD, oil, UJ oil. Jude wants me to look at oil. All right, let's look at oil. Y'all know I don't. I took this off my list. Let me see. What do we have on oil? All right. So I still have hourglasses on this. I still think I agree with the idea that I'm looking for this to take out 85. This kind of reminds me of GJ. There's nothing here that really tells me sellers are fully ready. There's just no sell volume, even in this move. But this is a very aggressive sell move here on oil that just doesn't have any volume behind it whatsoever. And as you can see, we've already began to erase that. So I'm gonna just sit this in the same category as GJ, where I do think it needs to, you know, go up before we get any sort of sell side action. I think I saw you drop the chart in Discord. Talking about this. Where was it? Was it in the premium? It was in the premium section. Yeah, so I do see you're looking at something like this, and this is actually not that bad of an idea. I guess if you were gonna take a stab at this, this is probably the best idea you could have taken. And what he's looking at is basically a sell from up here. I don't know if you're already in this trade. If you are, that's even better. But if you're not in this trade, I probably wouldn't be looking at this. And then even then, like I think it's a stretch to even get beyond this low. So if I was gonna personally play something on oil this week, I mean maybe you do get a reaction off of here. I mean like yeah, again, see like these highs don't scream like they're in for me. And again, maybe you do come and fill this up, and maybe you can like, you know, fade off from up here and get a little play down. I mean, I know this is like a setup that even Ray would look at just because the risk to reward is so amazing kind of trading inside of this pocket up here. But again, like with that liquidity up at 85 and the way that the market structure is and just the fact that sellers have just not been able to take control in any capacity, I would feel a little skeptical of this. So I see kind of what you're looking at Jude, but yeah, personally, there's a reason I took this off my watch list, and it's just, it hasn't been doing anything that I particularly like, and it's very, very, very clear to me. You know, even this sell-off here didn't fall enough for me to become a buyer, so yeah, let's see what happens up at 85. Let me see what else we got in the chat. GJ, we went over. You guys could rewind for that. Let me see what else we have. Any of these other pairs I trade? USD, JPY. Yeah, if you missed the journal link, you missed it, guys. That was the masterclass pricing. That is not going to be the same as it will be as a standalone product. So I do apologize, family, but timing is everything, right? We gotta give the people that, you know, took advantage when they took advantage the proper you know, respect to not open that up to everybody. So first mover's advantage on that for sure. Shout out to y'all that took advantage of that. So this was my old UJ analysis. Apparently, we were looking at buys. I remember we went over this, and it's funny. It's funny because I think Jude was the one that asked me about this, and we had talked about this level. And we talked about this level. I mean, I usually put the start of this when we talk about it. So we talked about it over here. I'm gonna just get rid of this, and we did talk about it taking out this candle, and then we would look to buy. It did do this massive move before eventually coming back to grab it. But this is why I stress patience. Like sometimes when you're looking at a level, you know, just because price moves without you, it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't come back for you at some point. So if this had been a limit that we had in the market, it would have triggered and we would have, I mean, again, like this target was put here before the upward move. So we wouldn't have used that same target. We would have actually extended these targets. But looking at this, again, leaning the same way I'm probably going to lean on GJ is I just don't think that this is quite ready to continue falling. I still do think this wants a little bit higher. At this point, I would be looking at it taking out this old redistribution and probably coming to play this CB up here. So this is where I would be looking at price coming to take. So I would think that price wants to get attracted to this level up here. Now, obviously, I'm not going to just sit on my hands and wait for that. I'm going to want to find an opportunity to still get into this market to trade into that direction. So if I was going to look at a buy setup, now that I know where I'm kind of ultimately looking, I'll break down these lower time frames and just kind of see what we got. So let's just get this thing out of our way real quick. So look at this old cycle here, this old reaccumulation. And again, like I would fully expect this to get wiped. So maybe this has a little bit more pullback to do. I know we just filled out this wick. If we can get back above this area, we might not get any lower. If that's the case, then so be it. I'm not going to chase price here. But I think just like I was looking at this before with just grabbing liquidity below the ranges, I'm going to look at the same thing over here. Although I don't see a candle I could specifically play, which is annoying enough. Yeah, I would probably look at something like this. You know what really annoys me though is like this is not a strong... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, personally, I mean, especially early week, again, like I'm not really looking to pay at current price. So I probably would expect us to take out this little range, right? So I would want to trade under this range for sure. So I'm probably going to look more or less, yeah, right around here. For analysis sake right now, I will say that this will probably be my stop level. But you guys know that as price comes down to this area, we will play the current action. So there's very specific things I would want to see actually happen down here in order for me to execute. These are not like limit trades. But this is just, again, this trade would have to go below this level to invalidate. But when we actually execute, the stop loss might be, you know, something like this. It could be a little tighter. It all depends on the current price action that's down here. So yeah, let's just wait for this thing to continue to drip. I'm going to look at this level here, see if we can get a little accumulation. And once we get that little accumulation, maybe we can play that again to the upside. Ultimately, again, looking for this to move up to like 134. So this is actually a decent like 500 pip move, which would be a lot more than GJ. But we're also looking for things like EU to pull back potentially. So yeah, my honest opinion though would be like I probably wouldn't want to play this pair. I wouldn't want to play this pair because I'm expecting dollar to pull back, but I also want to short GJ, which kind of puts UJ in this weird situation where I'm both bullish and bearish it at the same time based off of my other analysis. And if that's the case, if I'm like if I want to short GJ but I want to also short EU, then I'm not going to touch UJ because my analysis on both those pairs go completely against what you could expect from this. So if anything, this thing might just sit range bound for a while. But if I had to mark something up for it and I had to trade it, I'd probably look at something like that. And again, I'd probably just be targeting back near these highs. So again, I'm not as confident in this analysis as it probably is not something that I'm going to look at this week. But if I had to mark it up, that's what I would look at. And honestly, the degenerate in me really does like the idea that maybe it does turn around here. But the degenerate in me also likes that for EU, and we haven't seen that in EU yet, so it's probably unlikely that this happens. Can y'all drop the Discord? If you want the easiest way to get into our Discord, because even if you get into our Discord, you can't do anything without connecting it to your Profit Society accounts. So if you want the easiest way to get into our Discord, what you're going to want to do is go to profitsociety.co. Right, you're going to want to go to the homepage and you'll be able to, that might bring me to the wrong spot, 1 second, I'm going to need to fix that link. You can come in here and you can grab your free community account, and if you grab your free community account, once you have your community account, all you got to do is actually connect to Discord, which you can do through this amazing little, if this wants to load for me, I'm doing 1,000 things on my Wi-Fi right now. then you can connect to our Discord here, and this will give you instructions on how to get in. But you do need to connect to, at least to your community accounts in order to actually get in. So you can connect with Discord, you'll get the community rank, you'll get added in. So I will drop this link for you, and then you guys can hop in there with us. Cool. So that's what I see on UJ. Let's see. I use Edgewonk, but what is that? But since I'm in the premium group as well. What is Edgewonk? I've never heard of that. Easy Pip Sniper, you might have to put me on, my guy. I'm always looking for new software and things that I could quote unquote copy to make things better. So if that's a good journal that you got, bro, let me know. I want to see what it's about. Your state of mind determines the opportunities you see and don't see in the market. That's a fact. If you can't perform under high stress moments in life, it's going to be very tough dealing with losses. That is true. I mean, listen, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Is what people say anyway. Ray took the UJ buy last week. Ray did take the UJ buy last week. Shout out that boy Ray. Do you guys accept crypto payment for membership? We currently do not. We may eventually set that up through Coinbase, but we currently do not. It is typically not easy to set people up on some sort of recurring easy payments. However, if you want to do the yearly, that is something that we can discuss. But as a company, we do not. USD Swiss. Does anybody want to go over USD Swiss? I don't trade Swiss pairs, and I haven't looked at them in like 6-7 years, so I don't think I would be the best person for this. Let's see if any of the other boys...
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Swiss pairs at all either, to be honest with you. Let me see.
Yeah, no problem, Eric. We will definitely see you later in the week, my guy. Cool. Any other pairs, questions, guys? I mean, I'll take a quick look at USD Swiss if you really want me to. Again, I don't typically trade it, so you should take my opinion with like a grain of salt here. Because I'm a master of my pairs, and I don't typically look at this. But let's see. If I was going to look at this, at least just logically, let's see. Okay. So yeah, I mean, logically, the bearish activity on this is obvious because of the UTAD. We have all these old kind of weak lows that we are still probably going to be looking at taking. I mean, this wick did take actually a lot of them, which is probably why the wick did close to the upside. But this wick remains unfilled, so probably going to still stay a little bit bearish to see that wick fill. Just trying to see if there's anything on the 4 hour I would play. Okay, so there is the potential of this being a valid OB. Maybe. Let's see on the 1 hour. Okay, it's looking better and better as we go lower. Interesting. Yeah, so for me, if I was gonna, I mean, first off, my problem with this is again like EU and gold and everything. The reality is this probably does continue lower. So us looking for a potential turnaround on this is probably the riskiest thing we can do. But if you wanted a very simple smart money concept play, you could look for the wipe of all of this liquidity. And some people may even say that this was already swept because you did get a nice reaction from here. So some people are probably going to look at like a bullish setup like this, which is like not a setup that I would recommend. Some people will probably look at like a setup like this. This is not ideal for me though. This did grab liquidity, but it left a lot of still inefficiency and the order block untested. So I'd probably assume that this is not going to be like the true move that you're going to get. What you're probably going to want to do on this is wait until we do play inside of this area here. And on the 15-minute, yeah, below this candle. So I would probably be looking at this area here, 9110. On USD Swiss, if I was going to take this from like a logic standpoint, I'd probably look to take it right down here, go hit my stop, you know, a little bit below this old low, which again theoretically should be a order block on not only the 1 hour but also on the 4 hour. Although some would argue that you know, we're looking a little bit low for that 4-hour OB. But yeah, I would look at something like this and then look to see if we can kind of take it to the upside. But again, you'd be betting on dollar strength in this scenario. And betting on dollar strength just hasn't been something that has specifically worked in our favor over time. So yeah, not ideally what I would want to take. But again, if I was going to look for the most logical setup on this, that would be what I'd be looking at. What's up, Trader Rico? How you doing, my guy? Good to see you. Cool. Abel, Kyle, Ray, you guys have anything else you guys want to discuss? Anybody want to take over screen share? Questions, comments, concerns? I know a few people are looking at EJ and EA. I don't know if those are pairs you guys want to take a look at. But again, these are a little bit out of the scope of my watch list.
Yeah, nah, I'm pretty much good, bro.
Cool. Family in the chat, how we feeling? How we feeling? Let me know. Y'all ready for a good week? Remember, guys, these Sunday calls, we just give you guys areas of liquidity to look at and news. We'll be doing the live trading throughout the week. Right? Remember, it's only Sunday, so we got to take whether the market opens here for a little bit of a, you know, which is a little bit of a low liquidity in mind, right? There's not much volume behind these moves, so let's not get too married to the idea that everything we talk about on Sunday is going to work. Boy, Cody says, let's eat. Cody, you going to be on the live trading sessions this week, my guy? How you feeling? I know you've been busy, Cody. You going to be with us this week? Hopefully you will be, my guy. I know, yeah, Kimmy's ready. Roy's ready. Chaos Cray, shout out to you. Cody's going to be back with us. That's what I love. Listen, Cody, I need to get on the session, bro, and I need to see Skags the GOAT, Abel the GOAT. I need to see that, bro. That's like, you know, my morning routine. If I don't see that, my guy, my whole day is thrown off. So I need you there, my boy. I'm going to have to go back on the video, start from the beginning before you leave. How long do you think the dollar will drop? So, I mean, bro, to be honest with you, at this point, man, I really want to see what happens after this wick fill. Because again, the dollar has been on nothing but a bearish momentum. So, you know, again, we're still looking at this liquidity below 101. I know, I still think it's likely that we get that. It's nothing has turned around. EU still refuses to do anything. Again, if EU can get back below 108.90, I'll take this little risk of a trade. I still have not executed on this. But if it gets below here, I will look to take the next pullback. I mean, some would even argue at this point, like this might again be a smaller distribution, but again, you're playing with fire at these highs. That's for sure. Got you. You right. Appreciate you, Cody. Monthly is 130. Yeah. So family, for those of you guys that have not yet, again, hopped in, since we are officially open, family, to trade live with us 12 times, if not more, a month, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every single week, starting at about 8 a.m., we will be trading live, right? So you guys can hop in, just go to profitsociety.co. If you guys are doing the monthly, that will be 129. Again, you guys get those 12 live trading sessions during New York. We do these live market recap sessions. These will actually be on YouTube as well, so you guys will actually also have these on here. We will see you guys later in the day. You guys will have those master classes, the premium access to community and Discord. And then if you guys are paying for the year, remember, if you guys have until basically tomorrow morning to take 400 off this and get it for 1,000, I can't even stress how great of a deal that is. That's 1% on a 100K account, guys, for the year. Right? That boy Devin only needs to make 1%, and he's paid for the year. So, yeah, I can't stress how important this can be if you want to trade live with us. If you guys just want to continue getting the value here on YouTube, then be my guest. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, stay with us. We'll still be live with you guys throughout the week. Still dropping videos for you guys. I actually been working on a video for you all about the way that I trade, which I call cycle trading, right? Which is, again, these longer term trades. Right, when I talk about cycle trading, and look at like EU already fading off from that level, right? I'm talking about trading like this, right? For my longs from 96 that I'm up currently, whatever it is. Yeah, 1,300 pips, right? That's going to be cycle trading. So I'm actually going to be breaking down cycle trading for you guys and how I managed to hold these positions for multiple weeks, multiple months. I'm going to drop that video right here on YouTube for you all. So definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see what we got. I'm Gravy over here, Baltimore in session. I have a buy-in on GBP USD since 123.67, 75 pips in profit. Beautiful, Bert. I love it, my guy. Just make sure you take some partials on that, continue to hold, and you know, see what you could pull out of it, because these things are still very bullish. You know, we don't have the confirmed sells yet. We got Brother Joseph in the chat. Good to see you as always too, bro. What a Profit Society studying the Wyckoff method. Any suggestions to study closely? Yeah, I mean, as your resident Wyckoff expert, you know, I feel like I can now finally say that, right? I can use the word expert and master. I've been trading Wyckoff logic now for what's probably 6 years, maybe even approaching 7. Now it's 6. It's 6. I've been trading for 8. I found it 2 years. Yeah, so it's about 6 years. What I could tell you, bro, is first off, become familiar with volume. Volume is critical inside of Wyckoff logic. Right, if you're just following schematics, you're not going to get far, right? Because the difference between a reaccumulation and a distribution is structurally there's very few differences. You can actually look at them; they're almost damn near the same schematic. But what matters is what happens at the extremes, right? What happens at the highs and the lows in relation to volume, right? That price effort. Price result versus effort, right? Price result being candles, effort being the volume. So yeah, really get accustomed to volume, my brother, and then you know, take a look at my YouTube channel as well. You know, go search up Skag Academy. I have a few videos on there that kind of breaks it down. But yeah, any questions you have, man, you know, feel free to throw them my way. You know, you're a supporter of the YouTube channel, so you know, if you have questions, definitely don't be scared to ask. What are my favorite pairs? I trade commodities, indices, and dollar pairs. So Nasdaq, gold, oil, EU, GU, so on. Don't know who needs to read this, but it's like Cody. I appreciate you, my guy. Will the New York live trading sessions be on Zoom? They will not be on Zoom. They are actually on a link on the website. So profitsociety.co/live stream, which you will obviously need the premium membership to access. And you guys will see every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know why it says and Sunday. It shouldn't say Sunday. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 a.m. happens right here on the websites. So yeah, it's completely embedded. We have our chat here, and you guys can see, you know, the past calls as well. I don't even think I was sharing that. My bad. But yeah, profitsociety.co/live stream. This all happens on the back end of the website. It does not happen on Zoom. Does not happen in Discord. It's all internal. All internal. You guys know I've been working hard for that. FX Cartel All Blues. What's going on? Just came across your channel. Hey, we appreciate you, my guy. I would definitely. You're in a gold cell. Okay, not a terrible idea. I'm looking at EU cells, so we kind of on the same correlation. Welcome to the channel, my guy. We are kind of wrapping up. You know, feel free to watch the replay. We do appreciate you having here, my man. I do appreciate you subscribing, and we hope to see you on future sessions. With that being said, you know, this is your boy Skag on behalf of Profit Society family, and we will be seeing you guys later in the week.